Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is the 2014 edition of a very popular Dell 13-inch, the XPS. Shannon Morse, our producer, has it. Is that it right there?
This is it. The Dell XPS 13. This is the 2014 edition of it. They did quite a few updates with this one. First off, they upgraded the CPU, of course, to a 4th gen processor. They also upgraded the screen, which is probably the biggest deal about this one. It's a nice full HD screen.
1080p.
And it's also touchscreen. Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
It's so pretty.
And this is an Ultrabook. It looks very thin and light, right?
It is. Oh my gosh, it's 3 pounds. That's
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
And it's super small. You wouldn't think this is 13 inches because compared to something like the MacBook Air,
that's a 13-inch MacBook.
These are both 13 inches,
Wow.
but they look just a little bit different. See that size difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So this one is...
it's also higher res than the MacBook
It is
Air.
higher.
Yeah.
So this one is a 1920 by 1080 full HD screen. It is so pretty. I totally like this one. It was absolutely gorgeous when I was playing with it. Let me turn it back.
Dell, like a lot of companies, has adapted that Mac-style chiclet keyboard.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? I mean, compared to something like the Lenovo ThinkPad.
I actually had no problems with the keyboard. I liked it a lot. It was very easy to use. It was super simple. I feel like this top row up here, this is why it's such a small...
The function keys.
Yeah, the function keys up at the top are a little bit too small for myself. But that's just a personal taste. Yeah. This is backlit, so it's really nice to see everything, especially when it's dark out. And even the touchpad is nice and smooth, so I know a lot of people had problems with the touchpad in the past. They also made this a lot easier to use. As far as the format of this guy goes, it's aluminum on the top, so it feels kind of plasticky and cheap, but the bottom is carbon fiber. Really nice carbon fiber, so it's really nice, and that also adds to the weight of it, why it's only 3 pounds. So it's super lightweight. The screen, of course, is beautiful. It's really bright. It's very easy to use, and it's very fluid too. I didn't notice any kind of lag or any issues with that. So I know that the processor is definitely doing what it's supposed to be doing.
In this one, we have a Haswell 4th generation.
Yes, Haswell 4th gen, and the one I got is it's an i7 processor.
So top of the line.
Yeah,
here.
it's top of the line. Now with that top of the line also comes a top of the line price. So the one I got, it also has 8 gigs of RAM. It's upgraded to Windows 8.1. It is the touchscreen, nice full res, full HD screen. And it has the Intel HD 4400 graphics included as well, and a 256 solid state drive. With that
Wait a minute, let me guess.
and everything.
Let me guess. $13.99?
Close.
$14.99?
More. Yeah, a little bit more.
$15.99?
It's $16.50.
Oh,
yeah,
that is pricey.
$16.50.
Yeah, that is pricey. Okay.
Now, if you don't feel like paying that price, they do have a $10.49, a $10.50 version of it. It is not a touchscreen, and it comes with Windows 7. And they also have a version right in the middle. It's an i5, and that one is $13.49. So they have a couple of other options, and the $13.49 version is also Windows 8.1 with the same touchscreen. So
the touchscreen and high-res screen does add a lot of cost to it.
Yeah.
And of course, i7 is much more costly.
Yeah.
So you can get down lower if you're willing to sacrifice some of those
If
features.
you want to. Personally, though, I really like this target market, like 13-inch Ultrabook, high-res, high-resolution, and the i7 processor. That's my deal. I love these kind of laptops.
I gotta say though, for people who've said, "Oh, the Mac is so much more than a PC," there you go. That's a MacBook Air competitor that's actually more than the comparable MacBook Air.
It is, but you know what? I really liked it.
Yeah.
The battery on this thing lasts almost 10 hours.
Good.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's a really good battery. So they upgraded that too, as opposed to their 2013 version.
That's a real benefit of Haswell, of course.
The speaker is on the back of it.
How's it sound?
Right here. It's pretty decent. Yeah. It's very clean, very crisp. I was listening to a bunch of podcasts on it and some videos on YouTube, and it sounded just fine. It got really loud, and it seemed to echo out from the side, so it didn't feel like it was muffled, even though it's on the bottom. So that was fine. I also took some pictures with the webcam, and I'll show you those. The webcam, again, it's just kind of a generic webcam that you find on all these Ultrabooks, so nothing really special about them, which is unfortunate because I really want to see good webcams on these guys, but awesome. Honestly,
Well, do you use it for
grainy.
anything more than Skype?
No, I would just use it for Skype.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, what else would you use it? You're not going to take pictures with your
just
webcam.
Skype. But even so, I want to get good video on my Skype.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what if I'm doing a podcast on here?
Well, that's a good point, yeah.
So I like to have good webcams, or else you have to buy an external one, which is a pain in the butt.
Right.
So the other thing that I noticed about this as well is it's missing some of the ports. So you'll usually find HDMI on here, an SD card slot. Sometimes you'll find Ethernet, the kind that you can pull down. They don't have any of those. They have USB 3.0, power, of course, on the side, and a headphone jack. On the other side, you got mini DisplayPort and another USB 3.0, and that's it.
So you could use a mini DisplayPort as an HDMI out.
Yes.
You need an adapter.
You would
but
need
only,
an adapter.
it looks like only 2 USB ports on there, or 3?
Yeah, that's it, just two.
Okay.
So lots of ports are missing.
Yeah.
At least it felt like to me. So
And of course, no optical drive.
no optical
Yeah.
drive. Yes. So my
Floppy
pros
disk?
and cons.
No floppy disk.
No floppy
Just
disk.
checking. Okay.
My pros and cons: it's lightweight, under 3 pounds, is a great deal. Excellent screen. I absolutely love the screen and the amazing battery life. You can't go wrong with getting over 8 hours, a little bit under 10. That's really good. And then for the cons, of course, the minimal ports. I would really like to have HDMI and an SD card slot built into this.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to buy an adapter for my
I'm
SD
surprised it doesn't have an SD card slot.
Me too.
That's so thin
Me
that
too.
you could put that on there.
Yeah, you can put it anywhere
Yeah.
on this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed playing with it, and I would totally take it home if I could.
You would?
I give it
That's
a
a
buy.
buy.
Yeah.
I'd add another con. It's a little high priced for.
It is a little high
I
priced.
guess that's comparable.
But
to
it's comparable to like the
Acer's,
Acer
the
S7
S7, yeah.
and some of the other Haswell ones
Yeah.
out there right now. So
It is pretty.
It's comparable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. It's a buy on the Dell XPS 13, the brand new 2014 edition. And you pointed out that it's not yet on Amazon because it is the new edition, but
Yes.
maybe even by the time you see this, it will be.